So J-Ray, time to get creative.
All right. I think this one is a easy one. If we didn't win a World Series in any of those seasons, I think this was the year you guys would have picked. Uh, we're young, so probably the most exciting Yankee team outside of 2009 for us has to be 2017. It was a year nobody expected us to go out there and make some noise, but you're damn right, we did make some noise. Aaron Judge's breakout campaign, his rookie season, which he should have had an MVP to go along with it, but no sour grapes there. Aaron Judge should have had an MVP. Didi Gregorius was doing his thing. That was the year of Matt Holliday at DH. Had a fantastic first half of the season, but that was the first year where the baby bombers were legit, and we thought this was going to be something for years to come. Gary Sanchez, wow, what a fall from grace! But in 2017, that guy was murdering baseballs, and probably you would put him. I would say he was the best catcher in baseball when he was playing like that. What else can we point out? I think Masahiro Tanaka, those that his outstanding playoff performances, man. He was just ice cold against Cleveland, ice cold against the Astros. I feel like that was the most hopeful I felt in a long time about a Yankee team from I'd say 2010. After 2010, things just started to go downhill. And 2017 was exactly the spark the franchise needed to say, yeah, we can go all in and we can compete for a World Series every year. But yeah, I remember that year so fondly. Could go back to games like when we were playing in Wrigley and Brett Gardner hit the bomb in the ninth inning. I think was it. I don't know if it was a grand slam, but he had a home run to give us the lead late in the game. There was just so much excitement. Matt Holliday down big against Baltimore, and we start climbing back. And then I don't even remember what the score was, but Matt Holliday hitting a walk off home run into the Yankee bullpen. That was just so much fun. And we made the trades in the middle of the year. David Robertson coming back home to us, Todd Frazier coming in. It was just such a fun group, easy to root for. And we can't say this much about Yankee teams, but that was a year we were playing with house money. There was nothing to lose, man. Just go out there and play ball. And I think that was the most exciting thing about it. I miss that team. And I feel like all of us have been searching for that since that year.
I feel like the chemistry of that team was just as good as it gets in terms of guys that genuinely liked being around each other. I remember they would do whenever they would hit a home run in a game, they would do the thing where they had like the pseudo like interview. Remember that?
Hmm.
Where they would have like the Gatorade topper and like it would just be like Starlin Castro and all those young guys messing around. Didi was on it too. And man, that was a good year for him. He had that huge homer against the Twins in that wild card. Was it the wild card game? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the Twins and
All timer.
just great clutch aspects all around. And then if you look at the rotation, this might be sneaky one of the best rotations the Yankees have ever pumped out. Because you got Severino, 14-6, 2.98 ERA. Tanaka, even though he didn't have that great of an ERA or anything like that, he was still so clutch in the playoffs that you don't even think about that part.
Mm-hmm.
Montgomery came up and was 9-7, 3.88. Sabathia 14-5, 3.69. Pineda was in there with an 8-4, 4.39, and then you top it out with Sonny Gray, who obviously got booed out of the Bronx, but 4-7, 3.72 ERA. They just had a lot of guys that like meshed well together, and they just knew how to pitch. And you had prime Dellin Betances, Chad Green, Chapman, Adam Warren. Even though I'm not a huge Adam Warren fan, but still,
Jonathan Holder too.
yeah.
He was solid down the stretch.
Tyler Clippard. Oh,
I forgot he came along with that trade.
yeah, man. But no, they had a lot of good arms and just guys that were dogs and ready to go. And they did give the Astros a serious run for their money despite all the cheating.
Yeah. I mean, we took them to 7, man.
Mm-hmm.
Took them to 7.
This team revitalized my love for the Yankees. And the Yankees are always like my number one team, and it's a general priority in life, it seems at this point. But in when the Yankees had those downtrodden years, missing the playoffs in 13, 14, and 16, and in 2015 they just scratched into the wild card and never had a chance against Dallas Keuchel. That was clear through my high school years. And that was when I was playing baseball at my highest level. And I was honestly kind of apathetic towards them. They weren't playing well. They didn't have good expectations. There wasn't a lot of prospects. And in 2017, honestly, it was the same thing, but right off the bat, there was something different about this team. They were a year ahead of schedule. Judge put up an all-time season from a rookie, and we're like, wow, like the prospects that we've had and have been fostering are actually doing well. Gary Sanchez, such a sneaky, dominant 2017. He only played 122 games. The proportion of home runs to at bats, I just did the math. Judge had a home run every 13.2 at bats. Gary Sanchez had a home run every 15.8 at bats.
It's nuts.
And Judge hit 20 more just because he played more games. Gary Sanchez was on a different level. That team was so fun. That was one of the more fun summers I've had because we didn't have expectations, The Yankees, we talk about it all the time. Our expectations are World Series every year. It wasn't that year. And it wasn't for a few years in those mid 2010s. And 2017 was supposed to be a development year, establish some guys, Montgomery, Judge, Sanchez, Severino. These were guys that were coming up to help us compete, in that window, maybe 2019 on. And then 2017 put it, oh shit, this team can win now. And we went toe to toe, lost by a run, lost all 4 games in Houston to a confirmed cheating team. Not that the Yankees would have won the World Series if it weren't for the Astros. I think the Astros, if they weren't cheating, should have still beaten this Yankees team, but it goes to prove how much heart this team had, that it literally took all the tides against them along this way to finally fall to Houston. And they had a lot of grit, and it was so much fun.
That 2017, that was 2017 team. That was the last time I cried over a Yankees loss. The last time I shed a tear was that Game 7. I remember exactly where I was. Took a little trip with my girlfriend. We were out in PA. We were watching the game, and I am so pumped. And about like the 7th inning, I'm just realizing, yeah, we're done. We're not even touching the. I think Lance McCullers threw us how many straight curveballs, and we couldn't touch it, dude. A tear came down my eye, and my girlfriend laughed, but she ended up having to console me and keep me cool that night because I didn't want to say a word. Didn't want to say a word. But no, I love that team. They'll always have a soft spot in my heart. I just wish that obviously this baby bombers era is now over. I wish we got a ring in that time frame. I wish Gary, Judge, and those young boys all got one together, but it's not the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. I mean, we really just retained Judge and Sevy. Those are the 2 left.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone else is gone, and they didn't quite pan out the way we wanted it to. So sucks, but
man,
hopefully this new crop comes out and does better than ever.
We got Volpe, Dominguez, all those guys. Hopefully they rejuvenate this fan base.